Homeowners insurance is often a topic that's not thought of when purchasing a home or even updating a current homeowner. Today, we'll be speaking with Dave Stewart and his daughter Sadie with North Central Insurance and some common questions all homeowners should know. Scott and Ann Breuer here, and we're happy to introduce Dave and Sadie Stewart with North Central Insurance. Hello, Dave and Sadie. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks, Scott.
Would you be able to just give us a little bit about your company?
Yeah, sure. So I've been an independent agent going on a little over 30 years now, and my daughter Sadie works with me.
I've been about 3 years, a little bit over 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, awesome. So, curious, what coverage is often overlooked as a new homeowner?
You know, that's a good question. A lot of times we look at coverages other than, a lot of times people just compare price. And one of the things that gets overlooked is that water backup of sewer and drain. And those claims can be quite expensive. Often we see those claims $15,000, $25,000, $50,000. And if you don't have that endorsement on your policy, then you don't have that coverage. It's an extra add-on that you have to add onto your policy.
There's also another coverage called service line that's newer for most companies. And what that is generally if you're hooked up to the city, so like if you have city water or if you have any type of electrical that's hooked up to the city, generally from your driveway through your yard up to your house, you're liable for those lines. So if damage is done to those, that's something that you're supposed to cover. Service line helps pay for if there's any damages and you're responsible for them.
Well, it's good to know. I'm sure a lot of people aren't even aware of any of those two. Just curious, what are two options for deductibles for different homeowner policies?
So when it comes to deductibles, there's a couple different options. One, there's a percentage deductible. So what that is it would take your replacement cost of your home, and let's say you have a 1% deductible, which is pretty common. You're going to have 1% of the replacement cost of your home. So let's say you have a $300,000 house, you would have a $3,000 deductible. Generally, you don't save that much when it comes to having a percentage for a deductible. We generally like to look at $1,000 deductibles due to you don't usually save that much money, and when a claim does happen, a lot of times people can afford a $1,000 deductible versus a $3,000 deductible. But that's something we could definitely discuss over a meeting if that's something that you're curious about.
Great information. So, how can a homeowner continue to pay their mortgage in the event of an untimely death of a spouse?
That's a good question, Ann. A lot of times after you buy your house, you'll get a lot of direct mail from the mortgage company asking you if you want to pay off the mortgage in the event of a death. Those policies, if you do happen to take one of those out, typically name the mortgage company as the beneficiary. Whereas if you take out a policy on your own, you can name the beneficiary, often get it for less cost than what you get it through the mortgage company. And down the road, if something does happen, you get to pick on who's going to get the money. You can decide whether you want to pay off the mortgage at that point, or if you have other things like, the kids' college or daycare or things like that, you can use those monies for that instead.
That's really good to know those options are there. Just kind of curious, what's it like working together as a father-daughter team?
It's very interesting in the office because we see each other quite frequently, so we see each other on family holidays. Then we also get to come into the office and see each other every day. It gets kind of funny because it's nice having his experience because he's been in the business longer than I've been alive, so I've learned quite a bit from him. Every once in a while it can be a little bit of a pain working for somebody that you're related to, but it's mostly fun.
Well, as dad, I get the final word on this. I gotta say, I've been in the business for over 30 years, and I do look at things from a different perspective now, because I see things a lot of times through her eyes that I didn't, necessarily look at before. And one other key thing I learned is once I determined that she's the boss, it made things a lot easier.
I love it. Well, Dave and Sadie, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure. To reach out to Dave and Sadie directly, call, text, or email them from the details below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date on the current real estate market, learn more about the real estate process, or for more valuable resources like this video. Call, text, or email us if you're curious about buying, selling, investing, or building. Ann and Scott Breuer, Keller Williams Classic Realty, your trusted real estate advisors.